So I recently bought a new headset for gaming. It's these guys, Corsair HS35s. They're a very nice headset for their price. They're very entry level. And when I was looking at reviews, I realized while there is a ton of really good headset reviews for you to go watch on YouTube, there's not really any good guides helping you decide what you should be looking for in your headset. And I'm hoping to clarify that today. Hi, I'm Luke from Happy's Tech Hut, and today what we're going to be talking about is what I look for in a gaming headset, and hopefully by explaining what I look for you can sort of decide what you will be looking for in a headset, because it is kind of a personal thing. So to get this video rolling, we're going to look at the different things I looked at when I went and bought these. My Corsair HS35 headset. So when I buy a headset, bring those down. When I buy a headset, I look at four main things. I look at the comfort, the build quality, the sound quality, and then features and layout on a headset. Starting out with the comfort, it comes down to what's more comfortable on your head. When you watch reviews, just pay attention to a few things. Things like, I much prefer the cloth padding around my earbuds over, well, the leather ones from my old Redragon headset. Okay, these guys, I don't know if you can tell on the camera, these have a nice leather padding, and a lot of people find that more comfortable, but I find after a long gaming session it gets kind of hot, whereas on my Corsair headset, I don't know if you can tell, but that is not leather. That is a nice, good quality cloth material. So it all adds up. Another thing you need to consider is, do you want the band on top of your head like on these Redragons, or do you want to have a nice spongy thing like on my Corsairs with a solid piece on top here, no band? It all comes down to your personal preference. Personally, I prefer my Corsairs because they're a much lighter headset, which means my comfort's not really going to be any different after a long gaming session, whereas with my old Redragon headset, the leather kind of meant my ears would heat up. But the band was nice. I much prefer the band. However, because the Corsair headset's a lot lighter, it doesn't really make a big difference for me. Now for our build quality. So when you're looking at the build quality, it's not always a headphone being made out of steel. A good plastic headphone can actually be built better in some cases. What you need to look out for is the quality of the plastic that they use and how well put together it is. There are no cheap feelings. This one does not feel like it's going to fall apart. It feels solid. It's put together very smoothly. There is no visible issues with any of the joints on this headset. The plastics used, like I said earlier, it's more of a premium plastic. It's very solid. It's just something to look out for when it comes to your reviews that you end up watching. A lot of review channels, and the two best ones that I tend to stick with and trust is the TeknoAxe and We Do Tech. They'll go over it in quite a lot of detail. They'll be able to tell you if there's anything obviously wrong with the headset. And build quality is an important thing. Your gaming equipment is going to be moved around a lot, whether it's just on and off. Some people chuck their headsets in a fit of rage. I haven't done that in a long time, at least not since I was a lot younger than I am now, but I still bash my desk quite a lot, and my headset sits on my desk if it's not on my ears. So build quality is a very big thing. You're also going to get more bang for your buck because your headset will last a lot longer if it's built to a much, well, higher standard. Okay, now we're going to talk a little bit about sound quality. When you buy a gaming headset, you need to pay attention to the sound quality. Now this comes a little bit down to personal preference, but a lot more towards use case. For a gaming headset, especially if you're going to be playing competitive games, it's important that you can pick up every little sound detail. My old headset was fantastic at that. My current Corsair headset, still fantastic about that, except these are a little bass heavy. Now, the bass heavy is fine because I can still pick up footsteps and people scoping in or reloading in a game like Counter-Strike, but I don't really use it for music. I'd much rather just put on my main speakers or swap to the earphones I use with my cell phone purely because they're a bit bass heavy and I don't like bass heavy sounds. However, for single player games like Dragon Age or Mass Effect, or even movies, the bass heavy sound is a lot more immersive. So you need to ask yourself, what sort of games am I playing? Am I using it more for movies or music? And then go from there. The main thing though is crystal clear sound. You don't want it to get muddy. You don't want your highs and your lows to sound a bit off. The main thing is that your sound stays clear throughout the different ranges. So you gotta ask yourself, am I going to be doing some immersive single player story driven gaming and lots of movies? Or am I going to be listening to more music and focusing on small details and sound? It's all up to you. Again, this is personal preference. One headset that's fantastic for me is not going to be a good headset for someone else. Keep that in mind. So let's talk about the features in a headset as well as their layout on the headset. It comes down to personal preference. My old Redragon headset had LEDs on the side here and it vibrated with more bass heavy sounds, things I was wowed at for the first 3 days and then didn't care about. I don't care about those things. My girlfriend, on the other hand, she loves her Redragon headset with the vibration. She loves having her LED lighting or RGB lighting on the side of her headset. That's her preference. I don't use those. I care more about having a removable microphone and a mute button on the sides of my headset. She doesn't. So you need to look at what features it comes with. You have to also look at the layout. So for my Corsair headset here, the layout, the buttons are on the actual headset. For me, that is a very, very big thing. I will not buy a headset with inline controls because I find them irritating, and I also believe having a weight hanging on your cable pulls the cable more and your headset just doesn't last as long. I have a splitter, so I can split my mic and my sound when I plug it into my desktop, but when I plug it into my phone or my laptop, I just have one port that I just stick in. Same goes for someone who's going to be moving their headset between their console and their computer. They might need that splitter because the consoles only use one port. Most PCs have a microphone and an aux port separate. Then things like aesthetics. So these are a very gamery. You've got the straight lines. It's a very gamery look, and lots of people like that. It's got a fixed microphone. Lots of people like that. Microphone quality is fantastic on these Redragons. Lots of people like that. Me, I much prefer the more subtle looking Corsairs. Nothing too gamery about them. I have a microphone which, while being removable, is not actually the greatest microphone. However, my teammates hear me clearly, and that's all I care about. It doesn't sound like cancer. You can understand what I'm saying. I'm just not going to record a podcast on them. Anyway, my social media is linked in this video description. I hope you enjoyed watching it, and I hope you found this video useful. Just take what I said, tweak it to your personal preferences, and go look for a good headset. I'm Luke from Happy's Tech Hut, and I hope to see you in another video. Adios.